veteran. He had just received his quilt and it was on the bed. The news media got wind of the quilt, and quilts began coming in from all around the world. It didn't take long for the need for that warm hug to grow into what is now known as Quilts of Valor and a 501c3 organization. The model for the group appeared simple: have a volunteer team who would donate their time and materials to make a quilt top. One would do the top, another would add the batting and the backing and do the quilting part that holds the three layers together, and still another might put a binding around it to enclose those raw edges. They chose the name for this quilt, and it was the Quilts of Valor, or a QOV. 21 years later, they're at 3,017 quilts just last month. They're at 27,509 year to date. And since the beginning, they've donated over 400,000 quilts to needy veterans. The mission is to cover all combat service members and veterans touched by war with comforting and healing quilts of valor to say thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your valor. One of our vets in 2020 said, as an Iraqi combat veteran, I cannot express how much I love my quilt at this very moment. I do not know exactly who made my quilt, but it's provided so much comfort with the current events that went on in Afghanistan. I've not been in a good place since the fall of Afghanistan. My heart is broken for the family members who lost a loved one recently. I didn't know any of those who gave the ultimate sacrifice, but they were my brothers. I will continue to pray for everyone affected by these events, especially the loved ones who lost a service member. Thank you so much to the ones who make these quilts. I'm feeling every ounce of love and support that went into every stitch of my quilt. You're amazing people. I just cannot thank you enough. Another story is from Donald. He was one of 9 children, and all 5 boys in the family were allowed to join the service, even though Mom knew what their signing their name on that dotted line meant. They were offering it all up to defend our freedoms, even if it meant they might not come home. 4 of the 5 boys did come home, but only after each one had given over 20 years of service to their country. Donald said he'd been studying Daniel in Sunday school and how God has wrapped his arms around Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to protect them in the fiery furnace. He wondered about Quilts of Valor when he was offered to come to its presentation, so he looked us up on the web and was impressed with what we do. He said he'll feel like God has him wrapped up in his arms every time he uses his quilt, just like he did for Shadrach and his friends. And just recently, this last spring, we went to Bayou Battery to award a quilt. We heard about George Hudson Place on the news. He was a World War II veteran, and at age 16, he was in desperate need of a new pair of shoes. And he got to thinking, well, my brother joined the Navy and he got new clothes, new shoes. Maybe I can too. So he lied on the necessary forms. He was supposed to join at age 16 and signed up, followed his brother in the Navy. He served for 18 months in the South Pacific and got his diploma just this last spring because at 16 he had to drop out of school to join the service. He said he didn't much miss school, but he was glad to finally get his diploma. Locally, we awarded 65 quilts last year alone. Occasionally, we've sent a quilt across the country to honor a family member or perhaps a high school classmate. We've honored several well-known people with their quilts in Alabama at various events. Most of you will recognize the name of the new Secretary of Defense. Pete Hegseth was given a quilt by our Quilts of Valor group. Gavin McElvena was president of the Honor Guard of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers, and he received his quilt from us. Mark Osgeist of Benghazi fame got his quilt from Mobile. And Senator Bob Kerrey of Nebraska, a presidential candidate of note, got his quilt from us. And finally, we awarded one to Dave Riley, a Mobilian who served as National Commander of the DAV. And very interesting, his first quad amputee I had ever met. Locally, we've awarded quilts to Mayor Sam Jones, Judge Hardesty, and Judge Patterson, Councilman Scott Jones, and Councilman John Williams and his wife. We continue to honor many vets locally who quietly served our nation and fought for our freedoms. Your support allows us to continue with our mission to cover all service members touched by war with comforting and healing quilts of valor. So I'd like you to join me today in honoring two specific veterans that have worked for the Mobile County and city for many years. Clifford McDowell is a 1981 graduate of Pine Hill High School in Wilcox County, Alabama. He later attended Bishop State Community College. He joined the U.S. Army in 1981, where he served for 4 years, and then spent another 23 years in the Alabama National Guard as a staff sergeant. Clifford served his country as a unit supply specialist and as a combat medic while stationed in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, Fort Lee in Virginia, and Fort Hood in Texas. During Operations Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom, he served in Kandahar, Afghanistan, and Camp Virginia in Kuwait. His total deployment, he says, was 1 year, 9 months, and 12 days. Some of his service awards include the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and the Armed Forces Service Medal 10-year device. Clifford is currently working as an inventory specialist with the Mobile County License Commission, where he's also given 28 years of service. We'd like to thank him for his service on behalf of the grateful nation and the Quilts of Valor Foundation, and say welcome home with a great big Quilts of Valor hug. If Clifford would come forward.
We'll take a couple.
Willie Mae Burge is a 1984 graduate of Davidson High School and has a bachelor's degree from the University of South Alabama. She enlisted in the U.S. Navy and served for 20 years before retiring at the rank of Petty Officer First Class. While serving her country, she worked as a crane operator, a lifeboat maintenance and operator, a communications announcer, a Navy recruiter, worked in harbor security, and as a master craftsman. Petty Officer Burge earned many service awards, including the Navy Achievement Medals, Meritorious Unit Commendations, Defense Service Medals, and Navy Battle Efficiency Ribbons. She received certificates in expeditionary warfare training, oil spill response, and hazardous material control and management. She served aboard the USS Hunley, a submarine tender in San Diego, California, as a naval recruiter in Las Vegas, Nevada, and aboard the amphibious assault ship, the USS Gunston Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. In Guantanamo Bay, in Cuba, she served aboard the USS Eisenhower, again in Norfolk, and at the Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, Virginia. Willie Mae was in the first group of female sailors to be stationed aboard an aircraft carrier. As a civilian, she has served the city of Mobile as an environmental patrol officer and afterwards joined the license commissioner as a revenue license officer with 17 years of service to Mobile County. We'd like to thank her for her service on behalf of a grateful nation and the Quilts of Valor Foundation and say welcome home with a great big Quilts of Valor hug. Willie Mae, if you'd come forward.
Thank you so much, Joyce and Harold. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and this is always a great event this month to be able to honor our veterans and who have served. Thank you.
Thank you. And if anyone is here needs to go, it's okay to walk out. It's all right. Anything else, Kelsey?
No, ma'am, no other speakers or presentations.
Okay.
We want to give a shout out to Commissioner Matranga, our licensed commissioner, who he actually made the nominations on these two. So thank you very much, Commissioner. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Kerr?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
So item 1, we are going to ask for a vote on this morning, and we will have a change from that presented in the agenda to include another meeting to be combined on December 9th. So it will read as follows. Adopt a resolution revising the Mobile County Commission 2024 through 28 conference and meeting schedule to cancel the combined conference and meeting scheduled on November 25th, 2024, and hold a regular meeting only on that date of November 25th, and also cancel the December 5th conference and hold combined conference and meeting on December 9th.
So moved.
Second.
And then, as provided in the notice for this special conference, the commission will consider all agenda items to be voted on and on the agenda for November 25th as follows. 3, approve a list of claims. 4, hold public hearings so any citizen of the county shall be given an opportunity to be heard for or against any item related to the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance report. 5, approve appropriation contract with Covenant Academy of Mobile in the amount of $30,000 from District 1 education funds for educational resources and furnishings for the Library Media Center. 6, approve appropriation contract with Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $20,000 from District 2 education funds for classroom supplies, student teacher awards, patio umbrellas, and cafeteria gym mural for Wilmer Elementary School. 7, approve appropriation contract with St. Elmo Elementary School Parent-Teacher Organization in the amount of $759.98 from District 3 Education Funds for 2 metal storage cabinets and to cover the cost of a teacher appreciation luncheon for St. Elmo Elementary School. 8, approve appropriation contract with the Hargrove Foundation in the total amount of $5,000 for its 9th annual gala. Funds will be divided as follows. 9, approve appropriation contract with Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $20,000 from District 2 education funds for classroom emotional learning supplies, student teacher rewards, and lighted stand-up letters for E.R. Dixon Elementary. 10, approve appropriation contract with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $9,000 from District 3 education funds to cover the cost of drawings, materials, and installation of a canopy system for Bryant Career Technical Center. 11, approve application of Dash Chevron for transfer of retail beer and table wine off-premises only license from Harry Krishna for the Chevron 188 on Highway 188 in Grand Bay. 12, accept resignation of Miss Amy Tucker as a member of the Mobile County Sportsplex Advisory Council and approve the appointment of Mr. Eddie Hamilton to serve for 2 years effective November 17th.
Just wanted to note that Amy represented Mobile United, and her replacement was recommended by them to take her position for Mobile United.
13, approve revising November 13th, 2024 minutes, agenda item number 20, to read as follows. Adopt sole source resolution approving the renewal of Brightly software for Maintenance Edge, Inventory Edge, and Plan Maintenance in the amount of $29,837.74 per year for a 3-year period. 14, authorize advertising bids for roof replacement for Strickland Youth Center probation building. 15, authorize advertising for bids for Mobile County Building Maintenance Warehouse slab replacement. 16, approve assigning the Architects Group for security surveillance system upgrade for Mobile Government Plaza and County Annex. The work will consist of design, bidding, and project administration associated with the development of this project in an amount of $380,175. 17, approve assigning Dell Consulting for the new LED lighting for West Mobile Park baseball fields. The work will consist of providing engineering, construction, and bidding services for the installation of new LED lighting on existing poles for the West Mobile Park baseball fields in the amount of $51,000. 18, approve change order number 1 with Tyndall Construction for Strickland Youth Center intake renovations. The change order will decrease the contract by $630, and the new contract will be in the total amount of $132,250. $242. 19, authorize advertising for bids for Mobile Metro Jail temporary heat, ventilation, and air conditioning power distribution upgrades.
Why temporary?
Commissioner, this is a project where one of our, any 440 rooftop units fail at the Mitchell Jail Complex. We have spare units. And then when we have to bring them up closer to the jail, we have to run power out to that unit at anywhere parts of the jail, and it takes time. So like during the summer, that could take all day or into the next day, and the temperatures can actually rise. So what we're doing, we're putting temporary power locations throughout the roof of the jail complex. So when we put these temporary units out there, we can connect to it very easily. So we should be able to have air conditioning relatively fast in the future.
Okay, thank you.
20, rescind action of the Mobile County Commission in the September 23rd, 2024 minutes, agenda item number 27, approving renewal of master service agreement with Smart Dollar for financial wellness program for county employees. 21, approve renewal of master service agreement with Smart Dollar for financial wellness program for county employees for a term of 3 years for an annual cost in the amount of $31,371. 22, approve amendment to contract with Habitat for Humanity of Southwest Alabama to extend the term from October 31st, 2024 to January 31st, 2025 for the Homeowner Home Emergency Repair Assistance Program, and authorize the President of the Commission to execute all documents associated with this amendment. 23, approve sponsorship with South Alabama Regional Planning Commission in the amount of $5,000 for its annual meeting. 24, approve appropriation contract with the Moa Band of Choctaw Indians in the amount of $5,000 from District 1 Education Funds for its annual powwow event. 25, approve sponsorship agreement with the Board of School Commissioners of Mobile County in the amount of $1,000 from District 3 Education Funds to assist Alba Middle School with lodging expenses for the Create Foundation U.S. Open Robotics Tournament in Council Bluffs, Iowa. 26, approve assigning to Smith Mechanical Consulting and Design for replacement of North Tower Penthouse Air Handling Unit at Mobile Government Plaza. The work will include design, bidding, and project administration associated with the replacement of the North Tower Penthouse and associated chilled and hot water valves in the amount of $12,500. Number 27 we'll ask to be voted on today. Approve amendment number 1 with Duplantis Design Group for Mobile County Sportsplex Phase 2 concession stand and restroom. This amendment will increase services to include master planning, branding, and signage for the entire Mobile County Sportsplex. The contract amount will increase by $41,500, and the new contract total will be in the amount of $180,000.
So moved.
Second. 28, approve Unity service order to create, build, and maintain fiber and Ethernet connections to upgrade and improve network services to the Sheriff's Metro Firearms Training Facility for a term of 36 months at a cost of $1,130 per month. 29, authorize minor amendment to the 2018 action plan to reallocate $25,214.51 in home funds from acquisition construction of rental housing to down payment assistance. Number 30 will be asked to be voted on today. Approve revising November 13th, 2024 minutes, agenda item number 28 for the Mobile County Soccer Complex Phase 2 acquisition of property to decrease project budget. The new budget for the project is in the amount of $1,314,266.
So moved.
Second.
Ask 31 to be voted on. Approve amending 2024 capital improvement plan to create project design of Mobile County Soccer Complex Phases 3 and 3A. The budget for this project is $245,000. This amendment creates the new project and also allocates funding by moving from the capital improvement plan District 2 unnamed projects.
So moved.
Are y'all going to change the language in that? I
Yes.
guess,
So the language does change the name of the project to Design of Mobile County Soccer Complex Phases 3 and 3A. The project number stays the same.
Okay. Second.
And we ask that item 32 be voted on today.
Good thing we had a special meeting today,
Yes,
I
it
guess.
is. I appreciate it since I can't be at the meeting on Monday, so it allows us to move along faster. Thank you.
No problem.
Approve assigning to Duplantis Design Group for the Mobile County Soccer Complex Phases 3 and 3A. The work will consist of designing, bidding, and project administration associated with the development of the new soccer championship field, soccer field number 9, parking lots, restrooms, concessions, central water feature, public concourse, and stormwater management in the amount of $872,435 to be paid from the following funding sources.
So moved.
Second.
33, consider taking the following action on bids. $34, consider renewal of subscription agreement with High Seas Design House in the amount of $17,930.46 for Google Workspace Enterprise and Frontline for the Sheriff's Office. 35, approve renewal of software agreement with SHI International Corporation under the current state of Alabama contract in the amount of $134,597.05 for Microsoft Volume licensing, adding Microsoft Project to our Office 365 plan, client access license, and Windows Desktop for the County Commission. 36, approve software agreement with SHI International Corporation under the current state of Alabama contract in the amount of $68,482.60 for additional Microsoft licensing for the County Commission. 37, approve 36-month rental agreement with Sharp Electronics CPC Office Technologies under the current state of Alabama contract for one Sharp copier in the amount of $168.31 per month for the foster grandparent program. 38, adopt resolution authorizing engagement of public accounting firm Wilkins Miller to audit the basic financial statements of the Mobile County Commission for the fiscal year 2023 timeframe. 9, authorize letter to the Chief Examiner of the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts to request the employment of a public accounting firm to audit the basic financial statements of the County Commission for the fiscal year 2023. 40, approve memorandum of agreement with Wilkins Miller to audit the basic financial statements of the Mobile County Commission for fiscal year 2023 and authorize the County Commission President to sign letter of engagement.
Question, are any of these time sensitive? Is it okay to wait until Monday? I'm assuming on these?
Yes, the intent is to vote on Monday.
Okay, all right.
And finally, 41, adopt resolution approving revenue bonds of the Industrial Development Authority of Mobile County pursuant to Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code in an amount not to exceed $500 million to provide financing for for the benefit of AM&S Calvert at its facility located in Calvert, Alabama.
So Commissioners, this is really what we commonly know as a TEFRA hearing. There's no cost to the county commission. They ask for this for their own internal financing, and they get a little better tax rate. Somebody from the company or the law firm representing AM&S from Maynard Cooper will be here Monday to give a little overview, but the cost neutral to the county.
Thank you.
And Commissioners, we do have one add-on this morning to approve purchase of audio-video conference system for the Africa Town Hall and Food Bank from Modern Sound and Communication in the amount of $14,823 to be paid from Commission District 1 carryover funds. And Commissioners, we will have a Mobile County Indigent Care Board meeting on Monday as well.
Thank you. Rhonda, you ready? Ms. Gullich.
Thank you. Consider taking the following action on agenda items. Number 1, approve preliminary plat only of Penny Lakes First Edition in District 2. Item 2, approve preliminary and final plat of M&W subdivision in District 3. And,
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I do have a question about that, about the M&W.
okay,
But go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't.
I'll read the rest. And then
Sorry,
you can ask.
Rhonda.
That's okay. And preliminary and final plat of Lebo's Landing in District 3, and preliminary and final plat of Donald and Gladys Odom subdivision in District 1.
What is the M&W subdivision, Matthew? Do you, or Rhonda, or whoever, probably you?
It's a two-lot subdivision that's utilizing a flag-type method to gain access to the rear portion.
Are they, do you know what their intentions on that property are?
They have not let us know what their intentions are. What we have heard from the neighbors is they want to put tiny homes out there. We would have no control over what they would want to do out there without zoning.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
I just had received some calls, I guess, this week about from some of the residents. I guess you guys sent letters out notifying them of the subdivision, and they were concerned, and that's why I had some questions about it.
We send letters to all adjacent. I can bring a bigger map up and we can look at it further if
Yeah.
you'd like.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Item 3, approve final plat of Alden Park in District 3 and authorizing the county engineer to sign the plat and to update the following streets in the private road inventory. These streets have been constructed to a paved private road standard and certified by the developer's professional engineer.
Where's that? Is that up McFarland Road,
I believe that's off McLeod Road.
McLeod? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't like private road subdivisions for reasons stated in other meetings. I know we have to do it, but I wish, it just feels to me like when a developer comes in and don't want to meet the county standards for a public road, that there's a reason why. And I think we end up finding out about 20 years later or 15 years later exactly why they didn't want to meet county standards on these subdivisions. Anyway, just restating my objection to private road subdivisions.
Item 4, approve assigning a contract for professional engineering services, design and bidding for Celeste Road and Schillinger Road safety improvements to McCrory and Williams. Number 5, approve final plat of the crossings in District 3. Item 6, authorize acquisition of property and acceptance of right-of-way deeds and/or easements from the following property owners for the following projects. Most of these are for Lumpkin Road, and there is one for Pierce Creek Road. Item 7, authorize right-of-way and/or easement agreement for Tract 1 on Maddox Road in the amount of $250 for Maddox Road Project Grade Drain Basin Pave. And that's all we have at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else? Okay, hear nothing, we will see you on Monday at 10.